I'm going to show you an excellent exercise for hip health. We're going to work on the glute medius. That's that outer muscle of the hips. For this exercise, we are going to lay on our sides. And I want to make a note that for some clients that I work with, if you have more wider hips, that might create a little bit of an imbalance from your hips and shoulders. So we want our hips and shoulders to be in line. So for someone with more wider hips, what will happen is that we'll get a little bit of space here under the midsection, under the lower back. So we want to be flush. So what I recommend, if that's the case, is we would want to bolster ourselves by using something like a yoga mat, a small pillow, something cushiony that you can just place here under that low back, right above the hip. Okay, so your hip's on the ground, and then that way you're more flush to the floor. Now for me, I don't need this, but for someone, they might. So just check with yourself, place yourself on the floor and see, do you have this space that you can fit your hand under? If so, then that would be an appropriate time to use that bolster. Okay, so either way, we're here. Our shoulders are going to be in line with our hips. Make sure that this top hip is directly stacked on your bottom hip. So I don't want that hip to be rolling forward or rolling back. We want to stay right here. We're going to take our top arm and we're going to rest our head on that, our bottom arm here. And then the top arm can be free just to create some balance for ourselves here. Okay. Now starting with the legs, now that we have a straight spine behind us, our head is back, we're going to lift our bottom knee forward. So we're bringing that knee so the knee is in front of the hip, and that leg is still going to stay on the ground. We want this leg to be bent at about 90 degrees here. We're going to pull that foot back towards the knee. And what we can do is we can take this top arm and just grab that knee in front of us here for support. Okay, or you can hold on to the hand, onto the floor, whichever is more comfortable. We're going to take that top leg because we're working that top hip side. So we're going to bring this top leg slowly back behind us. And what we're going to do is we don't want to, as we bring that leg back, we don't want to create any curvature of the lower back. Okay, we want to keep that low back flat. So we're bringing that leg slightly behind the hip here. Okay, and then from here, what we want to make sure that we're not doing is we're not allowing this hip to fall forward to try to compensate for that movement. So just as far back as you're able to. And if we're still stacked here, we're still in a straight line, this is going to be our position. Now for this top leg, what I want you to do is you're going to slightly bend the knee, just soften the knee. So it's a very soft bend. Okay, and that's it for this part here. And what we're going to do is we're going to work on rotating that top leg down. So this top leg is trying to rotate towards the floor. Think about trying to point your toes into the ground. And then from this position, we want to lift our leg up towards the sky as high as you're able to. And you come right back down. Reminding you to keep that soft bend in that top knee. So we're not straightening that leg out, not for this one. And then back down. And then back up. When you're going to breathe through this exercise here, you're going to maintain a straight spine. You want to practice some awareness and make sure that your lower back isn't tipping forward or rounding. Okay, you want to keep that low back flush with the rest of your spine. Keep trying to rotate those toes down. And for this exercise, you might be tapping out at 10 reps or 20 reps. What I'd recommend, or my goal for my clients, is can I get them to do 50 repetitions? Good repetitions too. We want to teach good form. So I'd encourage you to practice as many as you can with good form. And once you're done on this side, I'm going to do just 2 more. And then I'm going to relax that. Okay, then you would switch sides and that would complete 1 full round. Okay, so let's switch to the opposite side. One thing that I'm going to add on to this instruction for you is the position of our feet. So in a moment, we'll go back to that same position. So with your ankles, what I want you to see is we can do 2 motions with the arches of our foot. We can pull those arches in towards our body, or we can press them away. So we rotate the arches in, and we rotate the arches out. So in and out. And I would want you to practice that for a moment so you can gain some awareness on how to do that. So arches are pushing forward, and those feet are rotating in towards the body, and then back out. What we're going to do for this next one, which we can do for the previous side too, is you want to work on pushing your arches away from you. Okay, so we just do that to add more to that fascial strengthening going from the feet all the way to the hip. Okay, don't worry if you don't master that one yet. Okay, so I'm going to have you lay on your side. I'll have you see me from this view so you can see the position of my top leg. My head's going to rest on my bottom arm. Okay, my shoulders and my hips are aligned. If I need to bolster under my low back, I can. I'm going to bring my top knee in front of my hip, knee bent at 90 degrees. I'm pulling my foot up towards my knee as well, so that foot's pulling back. Now we're here in a good position. I'm going to take my top leg, I'm going to bring it behind me just as much as I'm able to without compensating here. So if my hips are falling forward, I lost that position. I'm going to make sure my hip is back. Okay, so we're here. And then I'm going to soften my right knee. So this is a straight leg. And now this is a soft bent knee. That's as much as we need to soften it for this to work. I'm going to take my arch of my foot. So remember, we can pull the arch in towards the body, or we can press it away. For this one, I want you to press that arch away, okay, if you can. Okay, and then from here, we're going to lift up towards the sky, and we come right back down. I'm still pushing my arch away throughout that entire motion. We lift up, and then back down. We're breathing. Feel like you're trying to use this outer part of your hip. That's the muscle that's working. Try to notice the difference between the two sides. Maybe you can go a little longer on one side. Just being aware of that. This top leg is still behind your hip a little bit. Make sure that it's not trying to travel forward because it's uncomfortable. I want to remind you to breathe. Let your head relax completely on that bottom arm. And I'm going to have you do 3 more. 1, or keep going. Remember, we're working up to 50. That's the goal. But you do what you can. The next time you come back to this during a workout, you want to try to go a little bit more. Bonus 1. Up. And then back down. And then you relax that. So that's the exercise for the glute med. I'd recommend doing 2 to 3 rounds, remembering to work up to 50. And then in another video, I'll share with you some variations to target a different angle of that muscle. Enjoy.